Red, White, and Royal Blue. Chapter 15. Across the Divide. The Atlantic stretched vast and silent between them, but words, honest, vulnerable, yearning words continued to bridge the gap. Alex had never thought he'd look forward to checking his mailbox, but now it was the best part of his day. Letters from Henry came once a week, sometimes more. They weren't always poetic. Sometimes they were sarcastic, awkward, full of jokes about terrible British weather or royal dinner mishaps. But they always made Alex laugh and think. Each envelope felt like a heartbeat across the sea. Some letters were pages long, others barely a paragraph, but all of them carried something unmistakable: presence. Henry's voice echoed in Alex's mind as he read, as if he were right there beside him, sprawled on the couch with a cup of tea and that wry smile Alex had come to crave. One evening, as rain drummed steadily on the windows of the townhouse, Alex carefully laid out every letter he had received. He reread them all, even the ink-smudged ones, even the one where Henry had accidentally spilled tea, and apologized profusely. Each letter painted a piece of their story: longing, uncertainty, defiance, tenderness. Then the blackout happened. A storm rolled in from the east, knocking out power across the city. The apartment plunged into darkness, and all Alex could do was light a few candles and listen to the storm rumble. But even in the dark, his thoughts found clarity. He pulled out a sheet of paper, the same stationery he now reserved just for Henry. The glow of the flame reflected in his eyes as he began to write slowly, carefully, not rushing any word. "I'm not afraid," he wrote. "Not anymore. Not of loving you, not of being seen, not of standing in the light beside you." He paused, the pen trembling slightly in his grip. Then he continued. "You've become a part of my days, in a way I never expected. In the silence between meetings, in the moments when the world is too loud, it's your voice I hear. I want you to know that this us, it's worth everything, even the fear." He didn't send that letter right away. He folded it, sealed it, and placed it on his desk where the candlelight could keep watch. It sat there, patient and full of hope, like love itself, waiting for the right moment. Red, White, and Royal Blue, Chapter 16. An invitation. The invitation came in an envelope with a royal seal, heavy, official, and unmistakably British. It arrived on a rainy Wednesday afternoon, delivered by hand to the D.C. townhouse, as if it were a relic from another time. Alex held it in his hands like it might combust. The handwriting on the front was unmistakable. Henry's. It was slightly tilted to the right, elegant but with a hint of haste, as if he'd written it with trembling hands. Inside, the letter was brief, but every word struck Alex like a spark. "You're invited to spend the weekend at the Sandringham estate. No security detail, no press. Just you and me, if you dare. Love, Henry." Alex laughed aloud, heart pounding. The idea of stepping into Henry's world, his real world, was thrilling and terrifying all at once. Could he be himself there? Could they be them, outside of letters and shadows and late-night calls? He spent the next hour pacing his bedroom, reading the letter again and again. Finally, he picked up his phone and texted only 2 words. "I'm coming." Then he stood in the middle of the room, grinning like an idiot. He packed that night. Not just clothes, but tokens, things that reminded him of home, of courage, of Henry. He brought the blue pen he used to write his first letter, the silly pin Henry had once gifted him that read history, and a copy of The Great Gatsby, with underlined passages, in both their hands. By Friday evening, he stood in the grand entrance of the estate. breath visible in the crisp air. The manor loomed above him like something out of a fairy tale, ancient stone walls, ivy-covered archways, and the faint sound of classical music drifting from within. Henry was waiting at the top of the staircase, dressed not in regal uniform, but in a soft cardigan and casual trousers. He looked human, gentle, real, the kind of real that made Alex's chest ache. "Welcome to my chaos," Henry said with a warm grin, descending the steps with grace. Alex stepped forward, eyes never leaving Henry's, and whispered, "Wouldn't miss it for the world." Then, after a pause, he added with a teasing smile, "I'm just hoping the sheets aren't monogrammed." Henry laughed. "No promises." They walked inside together, past the portraits, the secrets, the legacy towards something new.